Hello! In this video, we will be creating a survey app that involves spreadsheet and data storage components. For this, we will be using the Airtable platform. I've placed a link in the description that would allow you to create an Airtable account. Let's get started. First, let's add a button to their screen. Let's rename the button to Submit. This is what the users will click after they answered all the questions in the survey. Next, let's scroll down to Layout and add Row. And let's add 2 columns. Once you come over here and bring this at the top like that so that the columns are split. Let's rename the column 2 to Questions. In this column will have the questions, and column 1 will have the answers. This is where the users will enter in their answers. Okay, now let's add 3 labels. And these 3 labels will have the question. So label 3 will be first name. Label 2, last name. And label 1 would have age. Now let's add 3 text inputs to the answer column. And this is where the user will enter in the answer. So the third input has the first name, second input would have the last name, and the first input would have the age. Now let's add 1 more label at the top of the screen. And in this label, it would say success if all the answers were recorded, and it would have an error message if it wasn't recorded. All of the answers that the user types will be stored in the Airtable spreadsheet. Let's also add our Airtable. So for the Airtable, you need to write your API key, your base ID, table name, and the view name. So let's go to Airtable account. Let's go to the Airtable software. Once you created your account, click Add a Base and click Start from Scratch. Let's name the base Survey. And first, we need to get our API key. So if you go to the top right-hand corner and click on your account, you'll see here that your API key is listed. Copy that, then go to Thunkable and enter your API. Now for your base ID, go back to the Airtable account, go to Help. Oops. Click on Help. Wait, sorry. Let's go to your Airtable account to get your base ID. Click here. Click on Help. Go to API Documentation. Click on your spreadsheet survey. Go to JavaScript. Scroll down. And here listed is your base ID. Just copy that, go to Thunkable, and enter. Now for your table name, its name is table 1. So you will write table 1. Just go here, copy it, and that's it. Now let's go to the blocks. first click on button 1 and grab and drop one button 1 click 2. Next, you want to click on Airtable 2, Airtable 1, and get grab and drop in table 2, call create row, and drop that in here. Now this is what basically saying is that when you click the submit button, it would create a new row like here and store all your answers. So for your row objects, let's go to objects and get create object and attach it right here. Click on the star and let's add 3 objects for the 3 questions. Now let's rename the objects. This would be first name. This would be last name. And this would have age. Over here on the table, each column should match your 3 name objects. So you're here, you're going to rename and call it first name. And then right click and insert right. Let's call this last name. Same thing. Insert right and age. What we want to do next is we want to set the first name, the last name, and age here to be whatever the user enters using the text input. So for the first name, it was text input 3. So get from text input get text and add it right here. And for the last name, it was text input 2. And for the age, it was text input 1. Now over here, you want to go to control and add if do. So if there's an error in storing, you want to know. So say if there is an error, then set the label, the top label, label 4, to that error so that the user knows there's something wrong. But if there isn't an error, add an else. Then you want to set the label and say success so that the user knows that it was successfully recorded. Now after this, you want to, let's say another person comes and they want to re-enter their name, age, and last name. You want to set the text inputs back to blank. So go to text input 1, get this, and drop it under the then do. Duplicate, text input 2, text input 3. And that's it.